Are you ready to be great? Stop letting self-doubt, insecurity, and fear prevent you from building your business. This morning, wake up to success. Here's John Preston.
Good morning. Thanks for joining me here on Wake Up to Success. Today, I want to tell you a couple of stories. They're quite different, but they share one thing in common. Neither of them will ever be made into a movie. The hero of the story won't have a biography written about it. There won't be a miniseries. People won't sit around campgrounds singing songs about these two stories. But they're stories that I think we all can relate to as we move towards our goal of success and accomplishing our dreams. The first story I want to tell you about is a guy named Bill. Bill was born to a wealthy family. He grew up with everything. Great, was a star athlete, always had the prettiest date in town. He always succeeded in everything he did. Whatever he tried to do just turned to gold. He got up, he married the girl of his dreams. They had beautiful kids. His bank account was always full. They went on vacations every year. His business took off, made a big success. People just adored him everywhere he went. Everything in his life went perfect from day one. He and his wife aged together. They died of old age, laying in their bed, remembering all of the wonderful times they had throughout their life. That story will never be written. First of all, it never happens because we all have struggles. Nobody, regardless of what they appear from the outside, makes it through life without dealing with struggles. But on the other hand, if it did happen, if that was truly a story of someone's life, no one would want to read it. It would be boring. They'd never make a movie out of because nobody's going to pay for a ticket to go see that movie or spend 2 hours of their life watching that scenario play out. There's nothing exciting about it. There's nothing story-worthy there. It's just boring. The second story I want to tell you about is about Ted. Ted's got this great idea. It's either an idea for a service that everybody's going to want, or it's for a product that everybody is going to need. He's got these great dreams. He's going to turn it into a billion-dollar empire. He's going to take over the world. He's going to have all the beautiful things in life and travel around the world with the wealth from his new invention or his new service. So day one comes along and his alarm clock goes off and he decides he's going to lay in bed for a couple more hours. He gets up, fixes himself a cup of coffee, plops down on the couch, watches an hour of television, gets up, surfs Facebook for a while, checks his Twitter account, gets down, makes a couple calls, maybe makes a drawing of his new product or outlining his service, and then decides he's going to take the afternoon and go play golf. And then the next day, he realizes he needs to call some investors or some clients or potential customers and maybe do some market research. But he just doesn't feel like doing it because those folks may laugh at him or those folks may think he's silly. And he just finds reason after reason after reason for not doing the things that he wants to do to be successful. Now, this story is not boring. But on the other hand, it's never going to make a movie. It's never going to make a biography about Ted. There's never going to be people sit around singing songs because no one's ever going to know about it. His business is never going to take off. He's never going to have the level of success needed to get anyone's attention, to become someone worthy of writing a story about. Because he can't do the things he needs to do to make his dreams come true. Now, these two stories are very, very different, but they do impact our life and our pursuit for success in our dreams. The first story is what we come to believe is happening to successful people, that they live this beautiful life without ever having to face any adversity or without ever having to deal with any struggles or challenges that get in their way. That's just not real. The second story is what can become of our dreams if we don't make ourselves do the things we need to do to get successful. I'm sure there were elements of that story about Ted that probably rang true, Maybe it's that time you spend on social media rather than doing the work. Maybe it's just dreading doing the hard work it takes. Well, here's the simple truth. Those stories will never be written because no one wants to read about them. They will never be made into a movie because no one cares. The stories that are made into movies and have biographies written and people sang about around campfires are the stories of people who had dreams, had struggles, and faced those struggles and overcame them time and time and time again. Because the bigger your dream is, the more obstacles that are going to get in the way, the more struggles you're going to have to overcome, the more naysayers you're going to have telling you you can't do it. Those are the stories we read about. Those are the stories of people who had dreams and overcome every obstacle to make those dreams come true. Those are the ones we read. Those are the movies we watch. So if you think your dream is going to come true without those struggles, you need to understand it's the struggles that make the dreams worthwhile. It's the struggles that create the stories that people want to hear because they can connect with them, because they know struggle. And when you have a dream and you're able to struggle through those tough times and endure when weaker people can't endure, that's the story that you want told about you. That's the story that the world will remember. So today I ask you, what is your story? You're writing it right now. Are you going to be the story that's never written? Or are you going to be the story of the person who dreamed and overcame obstacles and did things they didn't feel like doing to achieve the level of success worthy of stories?